Hello again. This video springs from a comment that I placed on a previous video, and I kind of thought, I read it back to myself and thought this really needs expanding on. So here we are, expanding on it right now. Now, a few years ago, actually quite a few years ago, I was talking to the girlfriend of a friend of mine who was in a Bulgarian band. Well, they were both in a Bulgarian band. She was a singer and he was a guitarist and occasional vocalist. And she said to me that she said, you English people, or you people that speak English as a first language, you're very lucky really, because your language is a hell of a lot richer than ours is. And I said, how do you mean? She said, well, for example, you have words like jump and leap and bound and spring. She says, we don't have that. We have jump a bit further, jump a bit further than that, jump a bit higher and longer and further. She said, we don't have the ability to distill things like that down to a single word that expresses it more fully. We have to, go around the fucking block a few times to say the same shit. And I'd never really thought about these kind of things, but it did get me to thinking about languages and how languages get translated from one to another, because obviously when you translate from any language to another language, if you don't have an appropriate word that expresses the meaning, then you've got to find other ways of doing it, and sometimes that's a very lengthy process, and sometimes you never find quite the appropriate word. And you find that even within the language itself, the original language, the meaning may have changed down the years. And so when you get the Bible, which has got many versions of its translations from the original Hebrew, then you're bound to have problems. I mean, you look at the story of Elisha and the two bears. The prophet Elisha, when he sort of prayed for God's help to curse these children who were kind of giving him some shit, and the bears came out of the woods and killed these children. Now you put that to the fundamentalists, and I'll say, oh no, it wasn't. They weren't children. They weren't infants at all. No, they were teenagers. You read the proper language, the Hebrew or whatever. They're teenagers or older men with machine guns, I think. And that bit where it says, go up ye bald head. No, they didn't say that at all. No, what they actually said was, we're going to fucking scalp you. So you get these, okay, maybe I've exaggerated that slightly, but this is the kind of thing that you get. And whose fault is this? Well, Mr. Fundamentalist Christian, as far as I can tell, if I were to believe what you believe, then there's only one person to blame. And that's the big fucking man in the sky. Why? Because if he hadn't fucked about with languages after the Tower of Babel incident, we'd have the one freaking version that everybody could understand. But no, once again, Mr. Omnipotent fails to fucking plan ahead. So instead we have a right royal balls up where we have all kinds of bloody versions. Nobody can fucking agree with each other on so many bloody things. I mean, okay, we would still have philosophical differences and stuff that's still to iron out, but by and large, there'd be a consensus. We could read it and we could all understand it. But once again, the man in the sky, Mr. Omnipotent, fails and ballses it all up. So stick that in your fundamentalist freaking pipe and smoke it. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.